Welcome. Actually, we on the air already for
Man,
BMore
we
for Real.
on air. We live. We are live. What
Well,
it
hot
do? What it do? City of Baltimore and the world and the country of the USA. What it do?
USA.
USA
Listen,
and
I know you
everywhere
have
else
to
in the world.
see as a Ravens or you know how Baltimore he's feeling. I started wearing
Everybody
the
from the city.
Oreos. You know
Everybody
that
from the city. Shout out to everybody from
they all
Baltimore.
doing well.
Shout
Our
out.
teams are
Shout out to all the cities across the world. You know what I'm saying? If y'all tuning in, definitely shout out all the cities. You know what I'm saying? We live, we lit. It's Be More for Real Podcast, man.
subscribe. You all subscribe. That's what we need you in, and we
Like,
need your comments today.
share.
We really need the topics we have today. We need your feedback. We need some rebuttal to something Daniel may say because he's hot today. And see who's on my side because we talked about the topic last night and today. So see what you think out there. Come on, join us, y'all. It's Be More for Real. And remember, every Wednesday from 7 to 8, live every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. Sometimes we might go on earlier, sometimes we might go on later.
Roundabout.
But you got to follow and get those notifications to
Subscribe.
be notified. So definitely subscribe, definitely like. We appreciate everybody nonetheless. We want to get into the topic real quick and get into it. Not even hold up. You know what I'm saying? We'll get right into it. You see it. Luxury after a while becomes necessity. So what you think about that, Uncle Wayne?
Well, usually two different ways of looking at that because sometimes people get so lost in these luxury things that they think it's something that they need. And really, it's just things that we want. But you had a different spin on it, which was fascinating to me. Tell me more about it because actually I'm gonna go back to more what I said, but let's start with your opinion of it because listen, like I said, luxuries are something we want, not the things that we need. So it's really not a necessity.
Okay,
It's
so
a want.
I'm glad you brought that up, right? So the thing is that if you can look at the screen right here, it say things in society start off as luxurious and then become available to the lower mass market, i.e., for example, TV, phones, computers, cars. So when you're looking at it, luxury after a while does become necessity because the TV, and something that someone pointed out to me was that when it first comes out, you know what I'm saying, it's only available to the wealthy people because it costs so much. But then after a while of, let's say, for lack of better words, after evolution, you know what I'm saying, then it becomes available to that lower mass market, you know what I'm saying? And then uh, it becomes a necessity at that point. So now everybody has a TV. And then when you look at phones, everybody didn't have a phone when it first came out. You see what I'm saying? It only was available to the wealthy. But then after a while, after the evolutionary process, for lack of better words, now everybody has a phone. And that's with the house phone and with the cell phone because at first
House
nobody
phone.
had cell phones.
Where is a house phone? I already know anyone
House
has
phones
a
not
phone.
even existent no more.
Obsolete.
They obsolete. They're non-existent. They're non-existent. So now tell me what you think about luxury at the while.
But it goes back to the same thing that I said at first. You said the television. It was very expensive at first, and a lot of people didn't get, especially the flat screen television that everyone has now.
Right.
And the phone. Let's go back to the phone again. We go house phone versus the cell phone. But you said it's a necessity, but it became what we call used so much that we think we need it. Do we need a television? Do we need a phone? Do we need a cell phone? Do we need a television? Actually, you said,
well,
you even said it now.
I would say in these days and times, absolutely, you would need a TV, phone, computer, and a car. Now, these things are a necessity because it helps exchange information and travel. And that's one thing that
See, that's why I need your
really,
comments. That's why we need your comments.
man, go over to the YouTube, man. Like, share, and subscribe. This is free. We do a lot of things within the community. Just with your free like, with your free share, and your free subscription, we will be able to do a lot more. So consider that, when y'all watching this on YouTube, Facebook,
True.
consider leaving that like, and leaving some comments and leaving a subscription. If you're on Facebook, go over to YouTube, follow the channel, subscribe to the channel, I should say, and also, you know what I'm saying, leave your comments and do things like that because we definitely are in a community and we're promoting black businesses and things of that nature, small businesses and local businesses, businesses that's not local. We are in the business of uplifting our people.
Right. Small
Period.
business, whichever way. Be more for real is what we are. We help the community a lot, and we're going to get out. You're going to see us more because we're going to be out there where we're interviewing live different spots in Baltimore where we get your words live, what you feel about Baltimore and things that upset you. We're going to have the camera in your face, and you're going to tell us how you feel. But in the meantime, let's finish the topics that we were talking about.
Yeah, the things that's in society, right? Like the TV and the phone. I think they are ultra important. You know what I'm saying?
Ultra important. Now, that's
Ultra.
different from a necessity.
Well, if something is of importance, I would think that there's a need to know or there's a necessity within it.
Another way of looking at it.
Not always the case.
One way of looking at it.
Not always the case because to play devil's advocate, to go on what you're saying too, you know what I'm saying? People want what they can't have and what they need they don't want at the same time. You know what I'm saying? They want something greater. So not all of the luxuries are necessities. Definitely by far. And I think that the first thing that I got when I first heard that quote was when people put their best foot forward, especially men. I mean, let me not say people, but let me be specific and say men. So men, right? And I'm speaking specifically men. When you put your best foot forward first, and let's say you, and I know y'all hear the sirens. Look, man, y'all know where we at. Y'all know where we at. So you're gonna hear a lot of that.
Hey, what does that mean? You're gonna know where we at and show Ravens.
Yeah. Because it's violence and it's Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? When we hit the field, it's violent collisions and yeah.
See, we 30 years apart. You see how his effect versus mine. You know what I mean? I don't believe Ravens fine, but you know what I mean? It was back in a time when Ravens were Ravens. But now we pumped a little bit. So with the Orioles, we all pumped. Let's see what's up.
Yep.
But back to what I was saying. A lot of times when us really as blacks, we get fascinated with a whole bunch of stuff. Let me give you a prime example. See this Raven shirt, real nice and stuff, but we'll pay a certain price for that. But when it comes down to, let's say, a black business who just started out, they have a shirt, $25. I'm like, absolutely not. We got 25. They need 10, 15. It's like unbelievable, but yet we go to a designer who not. And if you really look out, this is the thing, us as black men, look at some of the top designers. Look for when they were first out, when they were first designers, how they treated us as blacks. Honestly, when you wear their clothes, you got to understand where they come from because you're wearing the clothes from their children. You know what I mean? But the ones who originally started those designers, they weren't for us. It was for a certain class of people. You know, so when we don't do our homework and then we realize we need things like you don't need a Gucci shirt, you don't need a Gucci belt, you don't need these things, but some people feel as though they are a necessity.
And that's what I was saying. Luxury after a while becomes necessity. And that's the point I think that most people on the surface level will see. They will see that, you know, once you used to Louis, Gucci, Prada, whatever, you know what I'm saying? They are going to expect that. It's no longer a want, it's an expectation.
But an expectation, is that a necessity? Remember what you said. Is it necessary that you have it to survive or live? A television or phone is not.
Wow.
Once upon a time, we had no TV.
We
had no phones, and we lived.
My thing is, it hasn't been in prior times. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that we do have a phone and TV and all that stuff is very necessary. I'm gonna give you an example, right? And like as always, stuff gonna get biblical, right? Because in the Bible, there's a prophecy in the book of Revelation where it says that the two witnesses will be killed, and then the whole world will see these two witnesses within a span of 1 hour.
Wow.
So I'm like, well, how could the whole world see two people dead in the streets of Jerusalem in the span of 1 hour if it's not for the television?
Now, you wrapped that up. like I said, all night yesterday and today, he was on this, and you see why. He thoroughly thought this through. I'm just coming from another point. I'm old school. Remember, I'm 60 versus his almost 30. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When we were growing. Let's give you a prime example. You're talking about a cell phone. Let's just rewind a little bit further back. Where we picked up the phone to call somebody. Watch this.
Oh yeah, the rotary dial. Yep.
And look, if you miss one number, you got to start all the way back from the beginning. It was no in between.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to be patient to do it, but we lived.
Right.
We lived.
Right. But what about before phones and TVs?
There was no phone at all.
What about before phones and TVs? Like,
but
how
we
did people
lived.
live?
So then,
and I'm saying that, but for real,
that's your argument. It's a
I'm
necessity.
saying that, but for real, the 90s
is not.
I was born in the 90s. I'm just under 30. I
was born in the 60s.
I just turned.
See the difference between the two?
We didn't grow up on phones either, and cell phones and tablets. That was not available.
Especially a tablet. I don't know where this tablet thing come from. And we gonna go through that.
That was not available to us.
The tablet now is for parents, and parents hate when I say this, but let me be absolutely clear. When you don't want to spend that extra time with your children, that's what a tablet is for. It's to substitute you for spending time with your children. That's all. You stuff that tablet in their face. Oh, my child's smart and intelligent. Yeah, but you should know that without the tablet.
Mm-hmm.
You should know that by spending time with them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what God gave you those children for, to spend time with them.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think, oh, well, I got to bring this. Listen, that's a blessing. You have to understand God don't make mistakes. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew you were a good parent if you tried to be one. But a lot of us don't want to take the time and get into our children's life. So remember I told you this before, we stuff food in their face. The younger generation, look at them, all overweight and all. Like it or not, it's true. Most of them overweight because as a child, when they cry, they push food, snacks. I mean, we see it all the time, just pushing their face, and then they get huge in sugar, right? All this, and listen, first of all, they didn't come from the mama's milk. They ain't even off the mom titty. The child not even sucking the mom's milk. This should tell you something.
But it drank cow's milk.
Right, and not in cow's milk, some milk we never heard of. Look at the pandemic, some milk I've never even heard of. Some kind of strand of Similac or something else, where you don't even know what's in it. And they're getting sick because they couldn't process milk.
Right.
Listen to what I'm saying. So you know something must be wrong with the process when everything is chemicals. You need to be breastfed. These are life. This is God. This is what he has, but we get confused. That's why
I agree with what you were saying about the chemicals, right? Actually, everything that happens in life is the result of a chemical process. That's why we have chemistries. But what I will say is that it is ultra weird, and I learned this through social media. I ain't gonna fake, I ain't gonna front, I ain't gonna do none of that, right? I learned through social media that dogs drink dog milk, cats drink cat milk, wolves drink wolves milk, lambs and lamb. Humans are the only ones that drink the milk of another animal or another species. Another species.
Does not make sense.
And it doesn't.
But who?
And then on top of that, our own babies, most of us are not feeding them with breast milk, with human milk.
And then not feeding them nutrients as a child.
We get them Similac, Enfamil, or whatever else products they got out there.
Mickey D's.
Mickey D's.
Chuck E. Cheese.
BK. Have it your way.
Everything that put in the microwave instantly, hot pockets and all these chemicals, all these things are chemical. It's not natural food. It's like they want to just continue to push that into a child's life so they can continue to do what they want to do.
Right.
Then when the child is not acting right, oh, it's the teacher's fault. It's the school fault. They're not learning right. It's not this. It's everyone else's fault but our own.
Right.
Listen, when God gives you children, they're for you.
Right.
And if you think these luxury things become a necessity, that should tell you something. The necessity is to love your children.
Right.
Do you kind of see what I mean? That is the necessity. is to love and understand and spend time with your children. Right. That is a necessity.
Now,
that should be the luxury that becomes a necessity.
Now, what I will say is we spent we spent a little bit of time on this topic. I wanna shift over to another topic, and let's see.
And we got a guest that came in too, y'all. We got a guest.
We do have a guest. We're going to pull up a chair for him. It ain't a high chair, but
we will. And that's our next segment. We're gonna pull him in and tell him we're gonna find out what he thinks about our topic. But let's finish the next topic because this is hot now. Listen, we don't even see no comments. What's going on, y'all? Come on, feed us
definitely
back
share, subscribe, comment. Y'all ain't on it today, but
hey, you feel some kind of way about last week. This is just how we are. We're gonna rebut everything.
We just heating up though. We just heating up. We don't need an audience for this. What we need people to do right now is we need people to listen to what we're saying because we're bringing valuable things.
We didn't do our moment for the ones who are not here. Ooh. That's it. Hey, listen, we may get around town, but we're gonna take this moment for those who are no longer here, you know? Mm-mm. Take one moment. Hey, thanks for joining in for those who not. We have a guest. We're going to bring him in. And we got some topics to talk about from Baltimore. Remember, we bring guests in from Baltimore who have...
Let's go.
Welcome, sir. Introduce yourself. Tell them who you are.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Welcome to BMore4Real. I'm Uncle Wayne.
Luke Kane, baby, you already know what it is, you know what I'm saying? AKA Mr. Don't Give a Fuck.
By the way, your hair's fresh, sir. Your hair's fresh.
I just came back.
I must tell you, your hair's fresh.
My shit done.
Let's get this man credit. His hair's fresh right out the door.
Man, had to get my shit right. You found something.
That is done. But see, who done that? We need to come up here. Remember, Be More businesses, you know what I mean? Especially when it looks like that, they need to be properly served.
Absolutely. She on our live right now.
Why don't guys support us, man?
Hey, listen, you got to look at his hair. You know what I mean? Look at his hair.
Look at his hair. Sway, baby.
All right, so look, this is the next topic, and we already had it coming up on the screen, right?
First. Tell him a little about himself, and then we're going to go down next
you know what I'm saying? It's Luke Kane, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Luke Kane,
baby. You know what I'm saying? Laid back, young, cool, young nigga. You feel what I'm saying?
The biggest of the loose.
Do what the fuck we got to do when we in here. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy to be here with Uncle Wayne, my man, Dweezy.
Yeah.
And nothing too big, nothing too less. You know what I'm saying? Been rocking out for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just had to... motherfucking sleeping in class today, you know what I'm saying? Going for my HVAC shit. You know what I'm saying? HVAC technician.
But he's still gonna pass that test though.
You already know what it is.
Living proof, be who you are.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just, you know what I'm saying? We laid back, we doing what we gotta do.
Right.
You know, nothing too big, nothing too less. I'm trying to get into the shit, you feel what I'm saying? I'm trying to get into the shits.
Right.
We in here. Get you on it in.
Yo, we right into we
production told us to move over a little bit. You gotta move over, right?
Hey,
look, work with us. We work with production too. We're gonna get this together.
Okay,
We literally right into this. So look now, all right. So we got this topic, right? Mm-hmm. And as you can see, the pools, local city funds, and activities for the youth. Now, let me pull up this video. We're gonna look up this video real quick, and we are going to share this video to give you a bit of insight on where we're coming from. Let's look at this. Let's look at it.
Subscribe, y'all. Don't forget to subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Now,
Instagram.
If you can see, these kids swim in the pool. This don't have no audio or anything like that. These kids are swimming
Watch what you
in
see,
the
what
pool.
you see.
You understand what I'm saying?
Bring the sadness to you.
This in the city. This some real stuff.
Our city.
Hey, also, look, we do not own the rights to none of this content.
All right, we have to bring that to your attention.
We definitely don't own the rights to none of this content.
Sad, but we don't.
If you would like to see more, please look at Only Baltimore or whoever we put up on the screen, because they are the ones that have the content and they are the ones we get the content from. We appreciate them, and everything as well, because this is where we getting this content from. Now look, these kids then jumped over the wall, everything. You know what I'm saying? Several kids, and this is in the city. You know what I'm saying? This is what they doing. They jumping in the pool. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can see that? I hope our viewers can see that. Because we live and live in color. And they in that, you see the color of the water? That is crazy. That is crazy.
And that is reality. BMore reality.
That is crazy. So, you know what I'm saying? Okay, the thing with the pools, let's start with the first thing, the pools, right?
First of all, let's start with the kids that's jumping in the pool.
Ho.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, because I already got the activities for the youth, because I'm talking about the pools, right?
Right.
And it's something that's real important that I have learned through my studies, is that most people that drown in the United States of America, can you guess what color they is?
Black.
Or what color they are?
Brown, black, white.
Yeah.
Skin tone.
They
Human.
are brown. They are black.
Human.
They are black. And
you know these white people, they be going in motherfucking cold ass shits like that. You feel
70%.
There are reasons.
70% of people under 18 that drown happen to be black.
And when he pulled this statistic up last night and told me about it, it blew my mind that we don't know how to swim. Watch this. Where our motherland is South Africa, mind you. There's no reason why we don't. But because of what has happened to us, water is just not one of our favorite things in life. Not anymore.
Well, and also, though, what the problem was is that just like redlining, like with the housing, if you notice that all the hoods in the major cities are predominantly black, and black people are grouped in these major cities, once you start to understand that, you will understand how redlining work with the communities when they stop people from getting housing. They really relocated, they really delegated us, I should say, to a specific area in a specific region of the country. However, though, when it comes to swimming, it started off with segregation, because when they had public pools, there was still segregation. And then after segregation had ended, they stopped, and when they were discontinuing public pools ever since.
That's right, because you were a swimmer. You are. Tell us more about
Tell me
you.
I don't know something about swimming. Tell me I don't know.
Tell me more about it. That's right,
you
used
be
to
a
be a
lie.
I ain't gonna
swimmer.
lie. You know what's crazy though? When you go to Drew Hill Park pool, before you go into the 9 feet or whatever, you go on the diving board, you gotta pass a swimming test first. Before you do that, you gotta be able to swim and shit.
You can swim.
Like, you feel me? I went up there like last week and shit. I ain't gonna lie, I was tired as a motherfucker when I was down. I was like, yo, all right, say got do two laps, back and forth, you feel me? I'm doing 2 laps. I'm like, God damn. I ain't know how, you know what I'm saying, how long, you know what I'm saying, how exercise that we gotta do as far as just swimming and shit, how much muscles that you gotta actually use to actually swim, you feel what I'm saying? To be in that pool and shit like that. Because
and weed and swimming don't go together.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it just doesn't, because swimming is
Smoking
with the lungs
and
smoking and weed too, because the smoke's in the lungs.
Well,
if
really,
you into swimming, that's
smoking
one
and
thing.
athletics.
Smoke right. If you into that field because you need your lungs so much, you can't wear one out without the other. You have to give up one to the other. That's like you said, when you jump back in, you realize it takes a lot.
That shit was because
you got one mistake not using it.
You actually pushing the current that's in front of you. Feel what I'm saying?
There
you
you
gotta
go.
actually move that shit away and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
see that,
it
right.
take that muscle and
And you
make
take
you
that
feel
muscle
like
of that lungs, and it needs to be clear. It needs to be
look
working.
like, nigga,
Right.
You ain't been.
But you know,
working out
swimmers.
yet.
Let me explain something. But swimmers, that's why the swimmers' complete body looks good.
Yeah.
Because
The
swimming
upper
takes,
torso,
it
shit like
takes
that.
the
toe.
whole and complete body at work.
Exactly.
You know, and you need that. But you
But
know
now,
what,
look,
swimming is what
I'm-
we need to get more into. Now that you said that.
I'm a swimmer, and I want people to know this as well too. The reason why I stopped diving, by the way, I came 5th in the entire state of Maryland.
Wow.
In my age
You were good.
group, I came fifth in the state of Maryland.
Fifth in the state of Maryland. Listen to what he said.
State of Maryland. And
you
my
were
age
good.
Group, and diving.
You were good.
Not
what's
swimming.
your time, nigga?
You know what I mean?
What was your time, nigga?
And what did you do?
Look, not swimming. Diving.
Yeah,
See,
he
you
did
don't-
say
oh,
diving.
Diving. So
Hey,
you
see,
went. So
look.
hold on. So
Hey, look, in
He
order
did
to know
say
how
dive.
hold up. You went all the way up to the shit.
In order to
and
know
then-
how to dive, you got in the springboard diving. I went springboard diving.
Oh, wow.
This is real facts. The
Right,
first
right,
year,
right.
The first year,
This nigga did
I
springboard
went diving
dive.
for 2 years, and I was the
And he can swim. You know what I mean?
I went diving for 2 years, and I was the best person of color in any age
I
group
could figure.
at that time.
I could figure like ice skating.
And I'm gonna tell you why this
skating and
was.
golf, those are few of the sports that we just haven't tackled completely yet. We touched it, you know what I mean? You see some of us who touch it, but we don't tackle it. Just like you were fifth in the state. I don't know what happened, but
It's a
when you
fact.
were that close, it should have been some.
I'm gonna tell you what happened. That's
Gotta
what,
tell
that's what
us.
I'm about to
Tell
you.
us.
Tell you what happened.
And remember, this
And see,
is Be More
let
for
me-
Real.
Look, we're gonna
For
be
the
more
record.
for real.
Go ahead.
We're gonna be more for real. Look,
For the record.
let's be more for real, and let's just get this out the way. You don't see niggas swimming out here.
Yeah.
You don't see niggas diving in the Olympics and all that stuff out here, and it's a
Very
reason
true.
why.
What was the first time that you actually went into, you know what I'm saying, that 9 feet, 8 feet, you know what I'm saying? You jumped in that motherfucker.
I'm gonna tell you about all that. To answer your question, the first time I learned how to swim was actually in the DR. I was in Dominican Republic. I was 7 years old.
Oh,
And
wow.
I was in 15 feet of water at this resort that we was at.
This
The
feels
same
a little
resort-
Barack Obama.
Damn.
here.
The same
Hawaii,
resort I happened to crack my
Dominican
head at.
Republic.
It's crazy, y'all. I wound up cracking my head.
You went to DR, nigga? So-
Yeah. That was my first flight.
Nigga said, I ain't never been out the States.
You know,
That was
Off
my
the
first
block.
flight. That was my first flight. But see, what happened is that when I went to DR and they didn't have certain technologies that we had, and I wound up busting my head open, needing 7 stitches. And I was in the water. If it wasn't for somebody saving me, I probably would have died in DR at 7 years old because
Wow.
I hit my head on the surface of the water, and I got 7 stitches right here. Y'all probably can't see them, but I got 7 stitches.
I think
that
I
was
see
across my
3
head.
left.
Yeah.
No, I'm only
It leave
joking. But
a-
I
it
don't
leave a
really.
little mark.
That's a good. You don't
But
have
look,
mark.
and that was my third
Good
day.
thing you did it with
That
a
was-
child.
That was my
more so
third
than
day
an adult.
in DR. But how I learned how to swim, my father was like, yo, jump in the water and swim to me. He was in the middle of that 15 feet water. And he was like, look, just come in and make it to me. I got you. And
Hold on.
ever since then,
You got to clear this up for me.
yeah, my
You
father
mean,
was
old
like,
daddy, come on, dad.
said,
What did he tell you? He tell you to what
Yeah.
again?
he said,
Yeah.
jump in there
Jump
and make
in
it to
there,
me.
and then-
He was
yeah.
in 15 feet, and he was halfway in the
Yeah.
pool. And he said, look, just make it to me, and I got you. I'm going to get you up. We was in 15 feet. We was in the deepest part of this water that was in this resort, and the Dominican Republic went to 15 feet. So
And you actually dived in trying to get to listen to your dad.
I went right in, and I doggy paddled to him, and then from there he put me on his back, and he was swimming throughout the water, and he was showing me different swimming motions and all that stuff, and how to actually swim.
Well, how did you bust your head though?
I bust my head because he taught me that on the first day in Dominican Republic. On the third day in Dominican
Oh,
Republic,
It's when you got it right. You
is
bang
when
that
I
head.
bust my head.
So
The
after
third
you
day.
got the stitches, you went back swimming.
No, you couldn't. I couldn't go in the water. I couldn't go to the water. I'm gonna tell you about that experience too.
Yeah.
So look,
Fill us in a little bit.
so I go out there on the third day, and I was already flipping. Ever since I was younger, I always used to know how to flip. I would run up a tree, run up a wall, flip. I would flip all the way down the hill. People used to come
I've
from
seen kids
all
that
around
way,
when we
yeah.
get out of school.
Very athletic.
Just to
I mean,
watch,
yo, I
just to
remember that
watch
shit,
me
yo. This
flip.
nigga always keep
Very
flipping.
Just to
Flip.
watch me flip for real. So I always been a
Flipper.
gymnast. I would off the ground. I would hit a back flip. I hit 1 or 2 twists and land on the ground on my feet. You know what I'm saying? Straight off of the ground. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
wow.
So I was a
You
real,
were good at gymnastics.
exactly. I was.
But see, you
and I
know
never
what?
got into gymnastics.
Not to cut you off, but men, especially black men, never get in gymnastics because they got this the thing over there.
Mhm.
Gay, got to wear tights and stuff.
Mhm.
But imagine if the young brothers did get in. Imagine the competition we can
It
win.
is so funny that
We're
you mentioned
good
that
at what we
because
do.
one of my setbacks was I wouldn't wear them daggone
That's the
torpedoes.
Speedos.
I'm not
you didn't want to wear
wearing
the
them.
Speedos.
I'm not wearing them damn torpedoes, speedos, whatever
Alright,
you
so
want to
what?
call them,
Why not?
Doritos,
Yeah.
Cheetos. I ain't
But
wearing
you know
that
what?
shit,
You
man.
ready
Nigga
for
say
this?
you gonna wear trunks then.
Bro,
They ain't just let the
but
niggas
watch
go,
this.
man.
I did wear
trunks.
trunks. I
But-
did wear
but
trunks. The
watch
problem
it.
is, I was the only one.
But you know why they say that you supposed to wear the Speedos, pause, whatever, you know what I'm saying? We was on some geek shit, whatever. But it's the reason why you wear the Speedos because the trunks, it actually takes away from, you know what I'm saying, from the length of when you swimming and shit. You know what I'm saying? When you swimming, it's supposed to be like it's just more so like you supposed to move faster, basically.
See, you know what?
No. We not swimming. We not swimming. And to be honest with you, they ain't got nothing to do with it. To be honest with you, you can float with swimming trunks on because sometimes the freaking joint fill up with air bubbles, even though you're in the water, and you can float up your swimming trunks even if it's upside down, your face under the water.
But you know what it is? We need designers who design for us. Do you understand? That's where our issue is. We need designers who design for us. That shouldn't stop us from getting into that field because of the gear. We just need better gear geared to us.
And see, that was one of the strikes. So I didn't want to wear the torpedoes, speedos, Doritos, Cheetos, whatever you want to call them, Heatos. Look, I didn't want to wear it, and I wasn't wearing it. So
that cut your whole career.
No,
Isn't that amazing?
That was one of the things.
One of the things.
But the other thing was because I was black. I was the only black boy in any age group in any division. So when you're talking about swimming and stuff like that, I experienced it firsthand. My little brother, he used to dive with me too. We got kicked out the pool, but he ain't scored high enough to, I guess, go into the next round. Or maybe we did too much stuff to go for them to allow both of us back into the pool or whatever. And matter of fact, when I came fifth in the state of Maryland, my whole family was suspended from the pool in a family reunion down in South Carolina.
Suspended, meaning couldn't come in.
Yeah.
And what was that reason?
And see, look, and we talking about pools, right? See, pools. We used to have a lot of public pools up until desegregation, and then after desegregation, they had pools where they require you to have membership, like a gym. And you got to pay a certain fee.
I've heard about that. That happened a lot.
And so we was in a swim club. We was in a real swim club where you had to pay certain dues and all that stuff. And my people.
And most of them clubs are ran by whites. You know that.
And we was the only black people in there.
Yeah,
matter of fact, the reason why we got kicked out of the swim club is because my sister found some money in the bathroom, and I remember this like it was yesterday. She found the money. She was going around asking me, "Was this your money? This your money?" And I'm like, "Girl, shut the fuck." Man, shut up, yo. Let's just go ahead and spend this money. They're like, no, we're going to find out. They didn't find out who money was. Nobody left the money in the bathroom. We go to snack bar, and we spend all the money. And then next thing you know, they're going like, here go the kids that stole your money out the bathroom right there. While we eating the food that we just bought from the snack bar. So my cousins and them, they just came up from Buffalo, New York. And if you know anything about Buffalo and all them, they get gully. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like any other city. Any other major city, they get gully.
Didn't niggas know about fucking Benny and them?
Yeah, they do. They do. Of course, it's Buffalo. Buffalo is a small city. It's not like Baltimore. But anyway, when we got that pool, and they
Buffalo,
got gully,
New York,
man, we start throwing them in the water. We start beating them up because
wow.
As kids, for real, because we didn't know. My sisters and my cousin was already asking them whose money it was, and then by the time we spent the money that nobody tried to claim, they pointed on all the black kids that was at the pool.
So how dare
we start throwing people in the pool with clothes on and all that stuff. Anybody, man, what they kicked us out the swim club nonetheless.
So,
but they let me come back because I was fucking everybody up in the diving competition. Dead ass. I was 7, 8, 9 years old, right, doing a backflip with 4 twists, double backflips, double front flips. 4 twists. That's how I even got into diving.
Well, then you was fifth. That only means you had to be pretty good.
I know. I was the best diver of any.
So you saying you were better than the fifth? They made you fifth, but
they made me fifth. You were. And the reason how I know because it was another.
He was number one.
It was another black. I was, and it was another black girl that was in the same age group as I was in, and she wasn't even fully black. She was half black because her mother was black. And her dad was white. I mean, her mother was white, and her dad was black. And she came fifth in the state of Maryland.
That's a whole nother conversation.
She came fifth in the state of Maryland too.
All right, but no, let me ask you this question. No, real shit.
All right.
Can you do that shit now?
Yo, funny as a rubber ducky.
Your knees ain't the best, yo. I already know your knees ain't the best now. I know you can't do that shit now.
It's all kind of swim gear.
Your ass came motherfucking
speedo, long swim gear.
I ain't trying to hear that bullshit. Your ass probably hit that motherfucker. Yo, did the Rick Ross? You gonna do the Rick Ross
shit? I just flipped off a bench the other day. No lie. You feel what I'm saying? Did a whole backflip. I can still do it.
How your knees feel?
I still got it.
So you still. And look,
they ain't feel like I did when I was a teenager. Like, hey,
you all are young, dog. So this shouldn't be no issue. You all are still young.
No, show enough, yo. I was just like real shit. Yo, it's like I was just looking at this one shit as far as the the little shit that you do. with the little hard handball when you do the ad roller.
Yeah.
The ad roller, they got
Yeah.
a new ad roller, right? But the ad roller actually, you know what I'm saying, it adjusts, you know what I'm saying, for you to be able to, you know, be able to
What is the ad
help
roller?
you. The ad roller, when you go on your knees
and you
roll
this
that shit
thing
down
all
and
the
then
way
come
out,
right back.
and it get all the way up in your stomach.
Yeah.
Oh, my
I
God.
don't even know.
Oh,
I
them
never know
shits
what that
is
is.
crazy, yo.
Yeah.
I did one of them.
Does
You
it
ain't get
work?
them.
Is
You
it
ain't get them.
productive?
You only gonna be able to do
Are
one
they
You only gonna do like at least one or two.
or half of one.
Yeah, real shit.
But as we digress, look, the pools because we
Hey, where are these comments, y'all?
Hey,
Come on. Where are the comments
they-
tonight,
they'll
y'all?
join- they'll
These
join
topics
later.
are hot. We thought about these topics all last night and today.
They
We
gonna
expect
join
y'all
later.
to join in and have a rebuttal on some of the things we're saying, y'all. We don't always have to get
Man,
along,
like,
but we
subscribe.
like, right. We
You know
like
how
to hold
people
this
do.
conversation.
Right.
Our people do not like to get into it until the getting is good. You know what I'm saying?
You know what it is though? It's
That's
more
what it
so
is.
they like to hear the fuckery. You know what I'm saying?
What's
They
the
like to hear
fuckery?
the
Give
fuckery.
me the definition
They want to
of the
hear. They want to
fuckery.
hear some bullshit. They want to hear the shit that is though. Like, oh, I want to hear you talk about this. I want to hear you talk about that. Or you know what I'm saying? Just more so entertaining business. Let me say this. I'm not even trying to throw off
We
on the
need
next
you. We
conversation
need
with you. Yo, that shit with Boosie daughter, yo. That shit was crazy, yo, and that shit kind of hurt my heart, son.
Talk
Like,
to me.
because
We
at the end of
wasn't
the
gonna
day,
bring that up.
But bring it
Yo,
up,
all right.
you know, because they
Yeah,
need to
let's
fill
do
them
it.
in. Because a lot of times people
No, I
don't
was
know.
just saying,
Fill 'em
yo, I just saying, like, just as me as a parent, you feel what I'm saying? I would never want my child to ever feel like they had an audacity to ever call me those type of words.
in.
You
Fill
feel
us
what I'm
in
saying?
on what happened.
Okay, so basically,
And Coyle Ray too. She talked to her father
same
like
thing.
shit.
So basically, okay, Boosie daughter went to her mother house in the car that Boosie had bought for her. She didn't like the color of the car, but she still went down there with her mother in ATL. And then after she got the car, she went down there to her mother and they put him on child support, right? And then Boosie took the car back because she was being ungrateful for it because she didn't like the color. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you didn't like the color of the car that I bought you? Like, hold up, yo.
well,
Like,
took back
and
the
then-
gift.
Well, hold on. That's
let
not
me-
what they saying. What happened? They saying that Boosie bought the car, right? Bought the car for his daughter, and then when it turns out that he came on child support, he took
Right
the car
after.
back.
Right after.
He took the car back. So that's the
Oh,
main. That's
wow.
the main point. That he bought his daughter a car, and then once the daughter mother put him on child support, he took the car away from her.
Mm-hmm.
And it had nothing to do with no car color, what she wanted, what she didn't want. It was just the fact that once he found
No,
out,
it was because
once he found out that his baby mother put him on child support, he took the car from her. And what people are saying is that why would you take the car from your child when your child has nothing to do with your child support arrangements and the problem that you got with your child's mother?
That's deep. That's deep.
That's
So
really
what do you
happened in
think?
myself.
Since you started out,
from
what do you
I,
feel?
From what I heard, it was because you know she is in those classes of those classes. I'm not even gonna speak on their
Rich
name.
class?
No. Those in that area. You know what I'm
What
saying?
area?
The
You
area
gotta
far
clear
as
us
the
up a little bit.
LGBTQ community, whatever. You know what I'm saying? She's with that. She's a LGBT community.
Yeah, they
and
was
she
saying
didn't
that
like
too.
and she didn't like the color of the car.
It was pink.
It was pink. You
Right.
feel what I'm saying? And she didn't like the
And
car,
that's
the
a fact.
color of the paint. You know what I'm saying? And then she took it down to our peoples or whatever. And then she basically was saying like, "You a fuck nigga, fuck you, da 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 da," like
What?
just calling him a bitch ass nigga, like
This is
coming
her
at her
talking
father
to
on some
him.
bullshit. Like,
Oh,
yo,
wow.
you got a dad that has struggled so much for you. He has struggled. You ain't even you lived in a lifestyle whereas though you ain't never had to struggle for nothing at all. You ain't never missed a meal. You ain't never missed a school date. You ain't even had to, you know what I'm saying? Like the shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would never, if I ever had the bread to actually put my child in a position to even give you a car, My mom wouldn't even give me no motherfucking car. You feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? Like niggas be, you know what I'm saying? And your dad actually gave you a car, and you ungrateful for that? Like that's the thing I don't be doing. A lot of times
that actually go along with what we were talking about earlier.
Right.
And the necessity.
Hold on, luxury after a while becomes
let me just say
that would have been a perfect one to point it out.
Let me just say one more thing.
Go ahead.
It's just the audacity to make you feel like you entitled to something that you did not even work for. Of course, I made you in this world.
Now look
I made you in this world.
Look at what you're saying, and compared to how we say earlier, right? Luxury after a while become necessity because you don't deserve this.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You don't deserve this.
You don't deserve this shit.
This
you damn sure don't.
This is a privilege. But when you give people privileges consistently, after a while, it becomes standard. Mm-hmm. It's another way of standing.
That's why we were
That's another way of saying it. Consistency after a while becomes standard.
But think about this. Now, if she growing up a certain way, used to a certain living style.
That nigga was in a gutter. He was in dirt, walking around in dirty ass shoes with his new shoes on and shit like that. And then you got a whole establishment and shit like that.
How did she grow up?
Luxury.
She grew up
luxury. You know what I'm saying?
So she's accustomed to that lifestyle.
But that's where I feel like a lot of our children think, and that's where I feel like in our generation, for us, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But,
right.
but for our generation, we're thinking that I want the best for my child, and I want him to have the best for it. You know what I'm saying? I want to have him the big house. I want him to have the, you know what I'm saying, the luxury of not having nothing. But are they going to appreciate it though?
So
you know what I'm saying? Are they going to appreciate that shit? Are you going to appreciate that I made sure that you're not going to do, or you're not going to feel, or you're not going to be in the same position that I had to be in? Or you going to love this shit? Or you going to agree with this shit? Now, you know what I'm saying?
Now watch this. That's why I said if they grow up a certain way, if they could lifestyle, they're used to that lifestyle. So if they're used to getting what they want and they're expecting red and you give them white and they're used to that lifestyle, of course they're going to react to, I'm not getting my color. But is it bad that they're used to that lifestyle? That's how they're used to. It's not like they're doing anything different. They're used to getting what they want.
No, it's bad.
How can you change it in the middle of there, especially if they're expecting something from you? So who's right or wrong?
I think it comes to a certain age, though. I think it comes to a certain age. When you get to that 11, 12, 13, and you actually start seeing shit, you know what I'm saying? Start actually visualizing shit and actually developing what your lifestyle is going to be and what you're going to get and shit like that, then that's where I feel like that's where it start to go wrong at. You know what I'm saying? That's where it start to go wrong at. If you don't actually teach them, listen, this shit ain't where it's supposed to be at. I'm here because I did what I had to do. You feel me? I'm talking to all the parents out there. Stop telling y'all kids to stop being friends with y'all kids. Because at the end of the day, when you so comfortable being friends with y'all kids, you're going to look at them like they're friends, and they're going to look at you like you're a friend. So they're going to talk to you a certain type of way.
Right. Hey,
you feel me?
Definitely make sure you subscribe, and
subscribe.
Hey, yo, this is the Be More For Real podcast. Be more for real about your life. Be more for real about your decisions, and be more for real about supporting us because we support the people. Absolutely. So let's get to it. And don't forget, man, Uncle Wayne's Place is the place to be. If you
by the way, absolutely.
If you any of your needs, party, private events needs, man, Uncle Wayne's Place is the place to be.
Place to be, baby.
Now, let's get to this other topic.
Let's get to the other topic, the topic of the night, baby. Topic of the night.
And come on with some comments, you all. Yeah. Feedback, because so we can bounce off each other.
By the time y'all get this conversation, though, y'all gonna wish y'all was in on this. Look, y'all gonna wish y'all was in on this. So make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you like. Make sure you share, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you in on the conversation because whether you agree or not, your input is appreciated, and that's how we
definitely
get it.
need your input.
But look, as you can see, look below the topic of the night.
What's up with y'all, man? Holla at me, man. Come
tipping
live,
in
baby.
America and splitting bills. Tipping in America and splitting bills.
Tipping
in America and splitting bills. So let me do this. Let's go ahead and share a video real quick. I want the fellas to look at this video. This video has been hot. It's been a trending topic. Excuse me.
Where we at with it?
Let's go ahead and look at it. Make sure y'all go over to the YouTube.
She really did my praise.
Make sure y'all go over to the YouTube.
I ain't gonna lie, yo. I shit like I ain't no say.
Let's go.
She straight put
really good job.
Yeah, man, on that bitch. You found sign.
As they said, she put a foot in it.
Yo, she did though. I ain't gonna lie, yo. She really,
she did it all on that.
She went hard on it, and that's my personal.
All right, let's watch this. We limited on
time.
That
was personal.
Hey, we limited on time.
She personally.
We limited on time, fellas.
Right.
We limited on time, fellas. We limited on time. Let's go.
What's on the check? I'm not splitting the bill, shawty. That's crazy. You expect us to split the bill?
You got lamb chop. You got steak.
Look at all that. Look at what all they got. They talking about splitting the bill.
What did you come out for?
We come together and
I'm
split the
saying
bill.
so again. My thing is, y'all doing too much.
Y'all doing way too much. We didn't order all that. But when I'm only paying for what's on the check.
Let me play one more time so people can
what's on the check. I'm not splitting the bill, shawty. That's crazy. You expect us to split the bill?
You got lamb chop. You got steak.
Look at all that. Look at what all they got. They talking about splitting the bill.
What did you come out for?
We come together and
I'm
split the
saying
bill.
so again. My thing is, y'all doing too much.
Y'all doing way too much. We didn't order all that. But when I'm only paying for what's on the check.
All right.
Y'all doing too much. That's clearly what he said. Y'all doing too much.
Who is doing too much?
I can understand this one though. You know
who is doing too much. So we talking about tipping in America and splitting bills. So let's go with the latter portion with the splitting bills since we just pulled up that video because this is a hot topic. Let's say you go out to eat, right? And we order something on the menu. Let's say you order steak and lobster. I order something slight like mozzarella sticks. He orders something like drinks. And we go and we look at the bill at the end of the night. And the steak and the lobster and the drinks is the highest price. And see, here I am with just some mozzarella sticks. And I'm like, yo, what the f is this? You feel what I'm saying? And we supposed to split. Is we supposed to split the bill or whatever? No, that's just an example. I'm not saying I would do that. But that's just an example.
But that's an example of what goes on.
And that's an example of just what just went on in that video.
But it happens a lot, especially when a bunch of you go out and you happens. But a lot of people, you don't understand, tip is to ensure proper service. You know, so you tip when the service is together. And I'm like this. I'm a strong believer is if you all out ordering, you need to pay for what you order unless you want a date. If you want a date, that's a different situation. Okay. But if you all ordering at the table, unless you taking them out, let's say if you decided to take people out, then you are required to carry the bill. That's how life is.
Right.
If you inviting people out, you said I'm taking you out, or if I invite y'all out, you got to take care of the bill. You really do. You got to learn what that is. But we are not like that.
So you saying an invitation is reason for you to pay for the bill?
It makes
so if I invite
sense.
You out to eat,
if I invite you out, I got you.
All right,
that's just how it is.
I agree with that.
You know, but a lot of people don't feel that way, and and just like you said, they order the most expensive thing, and they want everybody to split the bill.
And that's another thing. So on the flip side, if somebody invite you out to daggone eat, don't order that daggone expensive thing on the menu. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if they offer it to you, y'all. Be modest.
But is that because you did invite? They were invited out, so do you?
I
have the right.
If you are not paying. You don't order what's on the top of the menu.
But how did that make sense though?
How
are you going to tell somebody how to order when you invite them out?
It makes sense to me because it's modest. Like, why would I go out with you, and I know you're footing the bill? Why would I put the most on you that I could put on you? That's
you invited me.
That's fucked up to me.
You invited me out.
Excuse my language.
Might have said some shit, right?
Did you invite me out?
Yeah, I did.
Then didn't you invite?
Shit.
And unless I say, yo, order whatever you want, it don't matter whatever.
But you
know what I'm saying?
me out.
Even if a person do say that, for me, yo, I'm gonna be modest. Seriously, I'm gonna be modest, yo. You talking about Go ahead, finish.
Back on, are we back on?
We apologize about
Sorry.
the interruption, man. We
Remember,
apologize
work
about
with
it.
us.
We back.
Hey, guess what? Your comments was in. You'd have dumped out with us. So put them comments in. Come on with them comments. Come on, comments. But finish out, man. You were right. Now, remember, we were talking about tipping, sharing them checks, paying them bills when we all together at a podcast. You know what I mean?
So, what's the proper way to handle that situation? So we had some issues or whatever, and we getting ready to wrap it up for real. We appreciate everybody that listen to the stream, like the stream. Yo, be sure to follow us over on the Facebook.
That's what we need to talk about.
On the
right.
YouTube, excuse me.
We're
gonna bring some more of these topics up. We probably continue this topic on next week because it's a hot topic for real. And with a few more topics on, we apologize for any interruption. But look, I mean, we are really in the communities, doing stuff for the communities. We need y'all to go over to the YouTube, subscribe, watch on there, comment on the YouTube, even if you see it on Facebook. We're just using the Facebook as a catalyst or whatever, and eventually that will catapult us to the level and where we want to be. We want to be able to touch people's lives at will. You understand what I'm saying? And we're going to be able to touch people's lives at will, but we need your help. And we're not asking for money. If you want to support us, look at the link below, and you can see how to support us. But
support those small businesses. That's how you support us.
The free way to support us would be to support these small businesses locally and around the nation.
Yep.
Go ahead and over to our YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button and everything, hit the notifications so you know when we popping off and everything. You know what I'm saying? That will help us a whole lot, you know what I mean? That will help us out a whole lot, you know what I'm saying? So let's do it, you know what I'm saying? Let's be more for real about our life. Let's be more for real about our situations. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to have a private event, Uncle Wayne's place is the space to be. So you know where we at with it. We appreciate y'all, Baltimore, whole USA, you know what I'm saying? We got a little choppy at the end, but
again, be more for real. Before we leave out, we're gonna finish this out now. We got to go with our solutions, with the tips and top. Let's do a solution about tipping and all together with the check. Simple. My thing is when you come, just like my brother said, don't come empty-handed. You us out for the night. All right. Well, yo, we need to find out why was that the reason so that don't happen again. We got to find it. They just need to be charged that way. Because, look, it's on now.
Yeah, just need another charge.
It's fully charged. Look, I mean, it's on now.
It's not fully charged.
I mean, I'm saying it's, I see all the lights. I don't mean fully charged.
It's not charging.
At all? It's not charging now?
It's not charging at all. If it were charging, you would see the
see
green.
that. So it's
and
a wrong
at least
piece.
it'll show you that it's charging.
So actually, this piece is not working.
Yeah, that's the laptop charger.
Oh, that's right.
That's on my laptop, my Livio.
That wasn't that. That was just stuff in there.
Bro said you was talking too much too, bro.
I was talking too much.
Yes.
What you mean? What you mean?
When you
I
talk
was
about
talking
your
too much?
head, that's probably what you're talking about.
No,
You start talking about your head.